Hi everyone, welcome to another video in the 30 Days of Flowers series, and we're getting quite towards the end now. I think we've got 7 left. Once we do this one there'll be 6 left, so well done everyone. If you're either actually colouring along with the flowers, whether you're doing it my way or your own way, or if you're just having fun and doing a little bit of colouring on each day for 30 days, that's fantastic either way. So this flower here, I'm going to be colouring with my Castle Art set. I'm using my 72 set today, so I've got quite a good range of colours, and it looks a bit to me like it's this hydrangea, but I'm not sure whether we're going to do it traditional colours. I'm just having a little look at what I've got. I think we might start with a colour for this sort of, trying to think where will be easier. See, I think it'd be easier to start with the actual flowers and then we'll do the back bit after. I'm going to do them in this really pretty purple colour. It's not quite a traditional hydrangea colour, it's just really pretty. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. It needs to be a fairly sharp pencil. Mine's probably a bit blunt. I shall probably sharpen it in a minute. So I'll show you. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker near the centre and lighter towards the end of the petal. And although this is a way that I colour a lot, the reasoning behind it for this particular flower is because if you actually look at a hydrangea, they're slightly dipped in here where the centre is. I'm just going to colour that in a dark of the same colour, a dark application. And so doing it darker can make it look like it's a bit deeper down. It's more effective when you've got a really big contrasting colour, which is quite difficult with such a small shape. I am just going to sharpen and then carry on. Now you can do the flowers a combination of colours. If you look at some hydrangeas, they are like that, but that can be quite tricky. So I think it's quite nice to keep it simple, on particularly on a small scale picture like this. There are some hydrangeas in this in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, and they're a bit bigger and you've got a little bit more leeway there for colour. Now here we have a little tiny leaf. I'm wondering whether to leave those as leaves and make them green, although we've got a great big leaf obviously down here. I'm going to have a think about that. We might do it green, we might not. I'm going to just continue colouring this sort of main flowers first and then have a little think. Sometimes I find that makes it easier, partly for me to see what's going on, because when you first look at a picture like this, you've got quite a lot of lines and shapes, and it can be a little bit difficult to work out quite what's going on. So once you've coloured a little bit, it can help you to just see what's there really. I find that with all most colouring books, not just Johanna's, that sometimes when there's a lot of lines and details, you need to just start colouring and then you can start to work out what's what. Sometimes I find it easier to do a background first so that you can see what's in the foreground, but with this one I thought it was easier to pick out these circles. You know, the circle is the centre of a flower, so we can colour that bit in first and then we can see what's going on with the rest of the flower. I've just had a lovely walk. I had to pop to the supermarket. I totally forgot my husband wanted me to get some cheese. I forgot my list, so I forgot to buy the cheese. I don't eat cheese, so I sort of it isn't a priority for me when I'm shopping. So the priority was to get some rolls for the children's lunch boxes, but anyway, I picked up other bits and bobs and completely forgot. I even hovered near the fridge aisle and thought, is there something I need? No. But anyway, I walked along the main road to the supermarket, and there's roadworks. I just wanted to see how it was going, and there's temporary lights, and I waited there for what felt like 10 minutes. It's like, crikey. So I walked, but I just wanted to go that way to see what was going on, and I was a bit naughty. I wanted to see my lads. They were at the bus stop. I just wanted to go and see them. I didn't talk to them or wave at them. I dared to smile at one of them and he turned away. Oh God, Mother's embarrassing us again, trying to speak to us. And I think he was scared that if he smiled back I might come over and give him a hug or something. Anyway, So I walked back along the canal path, and I had a lovely time. I think it was quite quiet. There weren't many people, a few people with their dogs. And I saw a couple of moorhens. I thought, oh, that's a treat. I do like moorhens, they're cute. And a few wagtails, they're really sweet. And then I saw the kingfisher. It was flying, so the light was just catching the its bluey greeny feathers. It's a delight. It always feels such an honour to see the kingfisher. You could see them so rarely, but I'm seeing them fairly frequently actually. I feel really lucky. But if I go out every day, which I haven't been at the moment, you obviously see them more often because you've got more chances of seeing them. And if you go out when it's quieter, they don't really like, if there's dogs around and things like that, they don't like it. But it was after I passed the people with the dogs, they were going the other way. So, but as I say, it was flying, so it might have been a little startled. Anyway, I don't know. But the dogs were quiet, they were sniffing around. It was quite funny because I said to the lady, you know, people encourage you to get a dog and because it will give you good exercise, and her dog was just, she could hardly move. It was just stopping at every little blade of grass to have a sniff. She was like, I never get anywhere. It's quite funny. And it was quite a big dog. I don't know much about dogs. I've never had a dog. Can be quite scared of some dogs. He did come and sniff me, but I wasn't frightened because he's a very gentle looking dog and he was on a lead. So that makes a big difference for me. And the lady's lovely. I see her quite a lot, so I know that she's well in control of her dog. But I get scared by dogs that just run up to you and start jumping up and things. Right, what I have left there in the head part, I feel, is petals. So I'm going to do them in a different colour. You don't have, it's leaves, sorry. You can do them as petals if you want, but I just want to have a bit of a different colour in there. And I think I quite like to go for a greeny blue. What shall I choose? I think I'll choose this. I'm just going to sharpen it. I've picked up the Pthalo green light. I think it will just work quite nicely. You can pick any green really. I think something like an olivey green, you know, yellowy green probably wouldn't work very well. But this is the one that I've picked, Pthalo green light. But anything that's bluey green I think will go. But you know, you can pick, as I say, if you've got a favourite green, then go for it. And you might want something a little darker. Now these spaces are quite small. I am trying to make them darker near the bottom, but I don't think it's really showing up very much because it's such a small space. But I'm trying. I know I'm trying. Very trying, my husband would say. No, he's kind, he wouldn't say that. He says he finds it fascinating that when he's at work there's often a lot of men complaining about their wives and things. He says he never complains about me. That's really sweet. He sometimes says he thinks I'm perfect, and I don't know why he thinks that because I am not. So he's very sweet. He's working from home after today for a couple of days. He's doing a training course, and although there is internet at work, it's very slow, and so he said it'd be easier to be at home. It's also less distracting for him. So I'm afraid that when he said I'm working from home, I didn't disguise my horror. You're working from home? It's because he's quite noisy, so it's quite difficult to record videos, but I will ask him if he can go up in my son's bedroom, which he will. My son's got a desk in his bedroom, which my son doesn't use. He's got a desk here in the sitting room as well, so he tends to use that. So he'll work upstairs and I'll still be able to record videos and things if I want to. I'm trying to take it easy, and I'm thinking about plans of things to do after I finish this 30 days of flowers, although it's quite a long way to go. You know, with 7 left, it's still got a week to go, but I have got a few ideas, so I think it's quite exciting, but we'll see. Okay, so you can see what I've done here. I've put more layers of colour here than here, but I don't want to leave it quite there. I'm just going to get a darker green I think the Veridian is quite good. Oh, I picked up the wrong one though. There it is. This one's quite short. The Veridian is quite good for darkening this sort of shade. So I'm just going to show you. I want it to be quite sharp. I find sometimes the castles don't keep their point as well as sort of polys. So you have to keep sharpening them a little bit if you want a sharp point, but I'm okay with that. Because they're a reasonably priced pencil, I mean obviously they're not dirt cheap, it means that I don't feel too bad about keeping on sharpening them all the time. The only thing of course is that you can't buy them open stock, which means that if you run one out you can't just replace that one. I've got a lot of Veridians because they come in some of the other sets that I've got as well. So I hope you can see what I've done. I've just outlined the stem a little bit. I think it just makes it look more interesting. And I'm going to do a little bit down here on the bottom of this leaf, just a touch, just to darken it a little bit more. And then we'll sort of be done. Now, I know I've done backgrounds on some of these. I'm having a little think. I'm quite liking this dark blue. What we could do is you could fill in these little gaps between these flowers and do a sort of background there. But I wasn't sure what colour to do. Maybe the dark purple, aubergine, something like that might work. But I couldn't really think of what to do. So I'm just thinking of doing a few dots or something like that. What should I do? Dots or stars? Maybe some stars. Does that look right? Yeah. Yeah, that's how you draw a star, isn't it? Some of these have got more points than others. Depends how I draw them. And I'm just going to surround it with stars. I think it's just a little different idea. We did do stars, I think, on one of the others that I've covered up with my pencil box tin. But anyway. But this one's in green. There we go. So we've just got some green stars. I don't know. You don't have to do it like that. Just leave it as is if you want to. But there's a few ideas for you anyway. So thank you very much for watching this little video. As I said earlier, I hope you're colouring along or doing some sort of colouring. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. And happy colouring.